The following story is about a real homicide investigation with graphic content. Viewer discretion is advised. Previously on The Murder Mind.
What evidence you have against me that will cause you to think that I'm capable of murdering all these people?
It was astronomical, the amount of circumstantial evidence. Even presented with all of that evidence, Bill Davis never admitted to anything. I've got to think outside the box. I got to come up with another plan to try to get this case resolved. The idea I had was to conduct an undercover assignment. The undercover agent is wired up. I'm listening as the agent pulls up to the front of Bill Davis's home. Bill Davis's door open, and I hear him say hello. And I'm like, here we go. I was on pins and needles, wondering what's gonna come next. The UC knocks on Bill Davis's door and says, hey, I'm a real estate agent. I've been hired by Mrs. McGuire to sell their home, and I was told by a few people in the neighborhood that you do yard work and I need some help to get the house ready for sale. Bill Davis goes on to tell the UC that he wouldn't be able to help her because there was a murder at the house and that he himself was a suspect. I was floored. I was completely surprised that he would even bring that up. But again, as I started to think about who Bill Davis was, this is a man that likes to play cat and mouse. So there's a lot of narcissism and ego involved with Bill Davis. So then it started to make sense to me. He just said he's a suspect. He didn't say anything else. But one thing stood out as I'm listening to the exchange between Bill Davis and the undercover agent. I can hear the suspicion in Bill Davis's voice. He wasn't saying much. He was answering with uh-huh and yeah. Bill Davis wasn't being very talkative. And then when the agent asked him to do the handiwork, Bill Davis immediately says, oh no, I'm not doing any work over there. There was a murder at that house. He didn't want nothing to do with the McGuire house. He didn't want to help. So at this point, I'm thinking all of this was for nothing. We have an undercover agent. We flew in from another state. We had to pull all of these favors out from the local FBI to put this crazy idea into play. And the first go at Bill Davis, he says he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to help. He doesn't want to do any yard work. All of this, at this point, I'm thinking was for nothing. He goes on to tell the undercover agent that although he wasn't going to do the work, he would find somebody to get it done for her. So the agent thanks Bill Davis and leaves his house and then meets us at a predetermined location so we can turn off the recording devices and do what's called a debrief. We're talking about the encounter that just happened. Bill Davis declined to do any work. And now we're really talking about shutting this operation down because we're out of options. It didn't work. In no less than 5 minutes in this meeting, the undercover agent's phone rings. And it's none other than Bill Davis. He called her back and he told her, you know what? I don't need to find anybody. I'll do the work myself. We're back in business. So right then, we just had to set up a date for Bill Davis to come to the house. And who knew at that point what Bill Davis would say? No one. So Bill Davis actually agrees to come back that same day. Bill Davis arrives, meets the undercover agent at the McGuire house, and starts to plant flowers and cut grass and do some odd jobs around the front yard, presumably making it ready for sale. They have brief conversations, all recorded, but Bill Davis doesn't say anything incriminating. He doesn't say anything of any relevance. At the end of the day, the undercover agent pays Bill Davis $100, and then they agree on meeting 2 days later. So now 2 days later, Bill Davis goes back to the McGuire residence, meets with the undercover agent, and continues working on the house. They have brief conversations throughout the day. At the end of the day, no incriminating conversations took place between Bill Davis and the undercover agent. And on the conclusion of the operation on day 2, I get a call immediately from the undercover agent after Bill Davis left, and she is in a panic. The agent goes on to tell me that as she was interacting with Bill Davis at the end of the day, she saw something sticking out of his waistband under his sweater that she believed to be a gun. I'm thinking maybe this is the .22 caliber pistol still in the possession of Bill Davis that was used against victim Alfred Glass. And he had just left the McGuire residence literally 2 minutes ago. And the agent was absolutely freaked out. I'm literally 2 blocks away from the McGuire residence, so I race over there in my vehicle, looking to see if I can catch Bill Davis walking down the street. And sure enough, as soon as I turn on one street, there Bill Davis is walking away almost to his residence. So as a law enforcement officer, not a detective, as a cop, one of the things that's drilled into police officers during training is the eyes can't hurt you, the words can't hurt you, but these right here. You gotta focus on the hands. This is what's gonna hurt you. This is what's gonna kill you as a police officer. So if you're approaching a suspect and they're moving around or they're moving under their jacket or lifting their shirt or doing something with your hands, you as a police officer are on high alert. And at this point in my career, not just being a detective, but being a street cop, working the streets, working in narcotics, I've encountered this situation many times where I felt someone was armed. Someone's making a move to a shirt, a jacket, lifting their shirt up, putting their hand behind their back, and we are on point, gun ready, giving them commands to show me your hands, to stop moving, stop what you're doing until I feel safe. This incident with Bill Davis was no different. I've already got information that he may be armed. This is a trained FBI agent giving me what they felt, what they saw, and now I'm encountering Bill Davis walking down the street. So I hurry up and I pull up in front of Bill Davis, and when I got out of my vehicle and Bill Davis saw me, it literally was an oh shit moment. The look on his face, the shock, the surprise that I just popped up out of nowhere, I'm already on high alert. I'm watching his hands, but when I look down to his waistband, I see it. I see exactly what the FBI agent saw. I see a bulge coming out of the right side of his waistband. I felt no doubt. This is it. And I liken back to the incident when I was in the kitchen with Bill Davis. I felt the same way. I felt uneasy, I felt unsafe, and I felt at this point, whatever Bill Davis has under his sweater, this may be that second opportunity when he wants to go out with a bang. I yell over to Bill, hey Bill, where you coming from? I'm just coming from down the street. I said, okay Bill, what do you have under your sweater right there? And at this point, I really am feeling concerned and have my hand on my weapon, and I order Bill Davis that slowly with your left hand, I want you to raise your sweater and let me see what you have. And as Bill Davis starts to raise his sweater with his left hand, I'm watching his right hand, hoping he's not gonna go for whatever that is and I wouldn't have to come out and go on target. And as he lifts his sweater up, I see something shiny, wrapped in tin foil. And I'm like, Bill, what is that? And Bill says it's a knife. And I give Bill Davis orders. I said, Bill, I want you to slowly pull that knife out of your waistband and toss it into the grass. As he tosses it into the grass, I approach Bill Davis, I pat him down to make sure there's no other weapons on him, and I pick up the knife and I realize I'm holding the same butcher knife that Bill Davis was using in his kitchen previously during an interview with me cutting greens. And I'm wondering, why is Bill Davis walking around the neighborhood with a 10-inch butcher knife? What was most significant about this knife is that it's wrapped in tin foil, and I can't help to think, when I recovered the weapon next door to Bill Davis's house, that weapon was also wrapped in tin foil. He's got a knife wrapped in tin foil, just like the gun wrapped in tin foil. This is his thing. This is the way Bill Davis gets down. For whatever reason, he may think it protects from DNA and fingerprints, but this is Bill Davis's signature. This is just one more piece of circumstantial evidence that I can put together to show that Bill Davis is responsible for these murders. I want to know why Bill Davis is walking around the neighborhood with a butcher knife, and he says, this is a dangerous neighborhood. Well, you think, Bill? Most of your neighbors have ended up dead. Yeah, it's a dangerous neighborhood with you in it. But he tells me he's concerned for his own safety. He's carrying a knife around the neighborhood because he's worried he may be harmed. We're worried about his neighbors dying, but Bill Davis is claiming that he's worried about himself, and the knife is for self-defense. Now, in the state of Georgia, in the city of Atlanta, carrying a knife concealed of that length is illegal. I could have arrested Bill Davis, didn't serve any purpose. Bill Davis going to jail for a simple misdemeanor charge of carrying a concealed knife doesn't help my investigation one bit. I tell Bill, take the knife back into your house. Said, you're free to leave. I said, please don't walk around the neighborhood again. And at this point, I just left. I left Bill Davis there and then regrouped with the FBI agent to let them know what exactly it was that I found in the waistband of Bill Davis. So there was some concern from the FBI about this suspect who's encountering this undercover agent having a knife concealed on their body. This agent was concerned for their safety. They voiced that concern to me, but agreed to continue with the operation. It wasn't a deterrent. It was something that we were aware of, that not only is Bill Davis capable of shooting somebody, he's demonstrated that he carries a knife and he may use that as a weapon as well. So this operation of Bill Davis still working for the undercover FBI agent was a go. We're back on track. So the undercover operation continues. Bill Davis meets with the undercover, does work at the McGuire residence, and this goes on for almost another week. The back and forth. Bill Davis shows up, does work, has conversations with the undercover. The undercover pays Bill Davis, but Bill Davis never really talked about the murders or said anything incriminating, and we're really not getting anything. So we decide we're gonna shut the operation down, but we can't just completely just have the agent disappear. So I make the decision that I'm just gonna show up one day unannounced at the McGuire residence, as I often did in the past at Bill Davis's house, while Bill was outside working in the yard and the agent was positioned outside. On this particular day, I drive up, I see Bill Davis working in the yard. The undercover agent, dressed as a real estate agent, is in the front yard as well. I get out of my car, I say hello to Bill, and I walk up to the undercover agent, out of earshot from Bill Davis, and we just have a brief conversation. I go back to my car, I say goodbye to Bill, and then I leave. The whole idea was, with that encounter, this agent's going to tell Bill Davis later that from that encounter where I showed up, I revealed to the agent that Bill Davis was a suspect in the homicide of not only the owner of the house where he's working, but other cases in the neighborhood. That the agent would feel so uncomfortable continuing to employ Bill Davis that they had to fire him. This was how we were going to shut the operation down. So we decide we're gonna take one more shot at Bill with a control call. The idea was the agent's going to call Bill Davis with me on the phone on three-way, recording the call, in one last-ditch effort to see if Bill Davis would say anything incriminating. You're going to hear portions of this conversation.
Today's November 4th, 2009. The time is 3:05 p.m. Eastern Time. On the phone with FBI Special Agent. Okay, whenever you're ready.
We have intentionally left out the undercover's voice to protect their identity. The agent dials Bill Davis's number, and a conversation ensues. All the while, I'm recording it.
I am a suspect because I was doing work for Mr. McGuire and Mr. McGuire. I was doing work inside and outside for both of them. We never had any fights or anything, but, you know, that particular evening, Mr. McGuire left, and this is why I'm a suspect, because I was in here, but I didn't come back after Mr. McGuire said, she said she'd be back in about a couple hours. So I just walked around. I didn't go back. So I don't know, what's up with that.
Bill Davis admits to the agent, I am a suspect in the homicide, but he never said anything incriminating. He never admitted to anything.
They questioned me several times immediately after the incident happened, as to my whereabouts, etc. And I guess the case is never closed, I don't know.
And this call went like most of the physical encounters Bill had with the undercover agent. Nothing happened. The call was ended, and at that point, the operation was officially shut down. So Bill Davis has a conversation later with the undercover agent. According to the undercover agent, they expressed to Bill Davis that they were very uncomfortable with me, the detective, showing up at the house, informing them that he is the prime suspect in a few murders in the neighborhood, including the owner of the house that the agent was trying to sell. that because of that, the agent could no longer employ Bill Davis. So it was done. Bill Davis got fired by the undercover agent, and everything went to plan. On this same day, late in the afternoon, my phone rings, and it's Bill Davis. Like I have many other times. What's up, Bill?
You busy this evening?
Well, I'm busy right now. What's up?
Well, I thought if you was in here, you could stop by. I'll let you.
He never said what it was about, but he wanted me to come and see him right now. And I said, no, I'm busy, Bill. I can't come and see you right now.
I probably can't come by tonight.
I'll come and see you when I have some time. I'm a little bit busy right now, and that's intentional. I don't want Bill Davis to think that, hey, you know what? You're so important that everything you say must be so important that I'm gonna drop what I'm doing to come and see you. I want Bill Davis to feel the heat. He's calling me, asking me to come and see him. I want him to wait.
I could probably come by tomorrow.
Okay. I'll be around tomorrow. Couldn't crash tomorrow.
Okay, I'll probably come by before lunch sometime, because I'm getting ready to go home. I've had a long day. I'll just come by in the morning. Is that cool with you?
Sure, that's fine.
I already know that Bill Davis got fired by the real estate agent / undercover FBI agent. And at this point, I'm not certain why Bill wants to talk to me. But nevertheless, I know there's something on Bill Davis's mind, something on Bill Davis's chest that he wants to get off.
I'll come by tomorrow sometime before 12.
Okay.
All right, see you then. Thanks.
Take care now.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Now, I agree to meet Bill Davis the next day, and I'm wondering, what could this be about?
Wow. That was Bill.
Oh, you said that was Billy Paul?
That's Bill. I always meet him by myself. I mean, he only carries a knife.
I can't help to think that finally I may be getting that confession that I've been waiting almost 2 years for. And I'm gonna tell you all about the meeting with Bill Davis in the next and final episode of this wild and crazy case. Coming up on The Murder Mind. I felt this was the last hurrah. If I'm gonna get anything from Bill Davis, today's gonna be it.
I'm going to be wrapping up my investigation pretty soon.
And all the evidence is on me.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please hit the like button and subscribe. And please check me out on other social media platforms, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook. Lastly, don't forget to come back for the next episode. You won't want to miss it.